Yo, people, lateness is greatness. Welcome back into the business. You already know what time it is. It's time for all you can eat Chelsea. And of course, I'm joined by the casting crew, the man them, the Londoners, the Australians, everything. You know what I'm saying? We didn't just have one massive big half an hour chat without you. And now you're probably wondering, what are they talking about? You'll never know. You'll never know, people. It's none of your business. All right, it's none of your business. But welcome to the show, Miz and Younes. First of all, Miz, how are you doing, bro? That time difference, mad.
Yeah, it's good. It's 9:30 p.m. on Thursday, which is fantastic. And we've been winning. It's been great. We've been playing some really good defensive football, which is fantastic. You know, that's what they say. They tell me we play defensive football. And yeah, I can't wait for today's discussion. I forgot to tell you, boys, I've actually got the Miz ball out today, which will make it a little bit easier as to which options are the best. So I always feel demonstration helps one.
It does.
Get the right solution. So,
yeah, especially for this. I think the Miz ball is much needed. So I'm actually buzzing to hear that you've got that. And Younes, bro, how are you doing? Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, life is good, isn't it? We're buzzing. And look, Miz ball. We're gonna get Miz ball today. That's fantastic. Have you thought of applying for the Man United job at all?
Michael Carrick's at the wheel now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I put my hands up, but Carrick's.
You do a better job than Carrick, surely.
do you know what the funny thing is, boys?
They can't beat Miz ball.
They actually think they have a new manager bounce when Michael Carrick's been training you guys all this time.
You know what? They're living in denial. Yeah, a lot of them are living in denial. They're going, it's a new manager. Oh yeah, there's a bounce. Oh yeah, we're looking better because all of a sudden we found a way to get Sancho to put a ball in the net, right? Like, and finally it's happened. Like Carrick, Fletcher, all them lot have still been there under Solskjaer for all this time. for once, Scholes actually said something right. He was like,
you should be embarrassed.
It's the same men. Nothing's changed here. Don't expect anything to just... It's the same geezers.
This is what I hope we pump the living...
I hope we destroy them. Oh, man, bring on Sunday. Look, if we don't smash them to pieces, I'm going to be...
No, we have to.
Bro, if we don't win that game, I am going to start throwing apple juice out the window, bro.
Cancel all the channels.
Cancel all the income. Homelessness for everybody.
Miz ball about to put us on the streets.
Strike, baby, strike.
You with your other jobs. You think it's a joke?
No, legit will be so upset if we don't wrap them up.
Man.
Liverpool's wrapped them up. Man City toyed with them. If we... I can't.
Surely.
Let's talk about something else.
Let's just talk about something else. And there is plenty things to discuss because unfortunately, after I did London Club's Carnage, which was literally Carnage, that name really does suit the show.
That was a good show. That was a good show.
I was actually tired after that show. I don't think I ever recovered from that. I had to actually make Saj do the PSG Man City watch along on Twitch. I was that tired. I recovered from that. And then Matt Law comes in and says, "You all right, mate? You all right? Here's another dagger for you, right in the back." Ben Chilwell, he's out for the rest of the year. And he worded it and titled it in such a creative way that it made me shit myself, literally. To the point where I was like, and everyone's he's out for the season. Okay, no, not quite.
Exactly.
ACL damage, he's out for the rest of the year. He's out until the new year. He's out until the New Year celebrations. Hopefully, as soon as 2022 hits, bang, fireworks go off, Chilwell is magically healed, comes back into the team. Absolutely no problems. I'm sure that's the way it's going to go, isn't it, right, guys?
Yeah.
Don't worry, he'll be back soon, man. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Everything's gonna be all right. Don't worry.
He's on leave. He's just having a holiday. He'll be back.
He's taking a little vacation. You know what I'm saying?
Whilst we're speaking, I just removed him from FPL, so that just shows how much I believe he's going to be back.
Get Alonso in the team quick.
Yes. I mean, I did a video. Miz did a video. The rest of the YouTubers were like, we'll do it tomorrow. Screw it. I'm not going back out into the minefield again to do all this shit. I saw Yannick, I saw Younes, I saw George. Everybody was like, fuck this. I'm done with this. I'm not talking about this shit.
I ain't even done one, man. I uploaded the video yesterday and I was like, literally 5 minutes later, I see a comment like, Chilwell's out for the season. And I'm like, what, mate?
Can we stick to the topic I've just uploaded, please?
Yeah, like legit. I just gave a pipe bomb on Pochettino about calling us defensive, and then I get this news. Like, yeah.
Can't win in this game. That's the life of a content creator. But today we're here to go through the options and to expand on really the shortened version that I gave yesterday, last night. I gave 3 options that I felt were the best options, and also the options that I would personally expect to be on the table now for Thomas Tuchel. But my comments got involved. There was a lot of debating, some violence, some people were lost. You know what I'm saying? Unsubscribed and whatnot. I'm sure they'll be back. People with opinions, people are not happy these days. It's a very sticky time. But there's other options I'm hearing. There's actually a lot of other options. There's a whole extra 4 people that I didn't mention, which is great because now I have to debate with you guys. And I don't really want to talk about it on my own because I feel like I'm going to say some things out of place and I'm going to get crucified. So it's great to have you guys to almost take the fall with me. So without further ado, we'll start with the first option, which I think is the most likely option. The mysterious case of Marcos Alonso. I think this is a guy that is really causing a lot of conflict in terms of people don't really know where they stand. There's a lot of people that are saying, don't worry, we've got Marcos Alonso. He's the best thing since sliced bread. He's naturally a left wing back. We won the title with him, which was donkeys years ago, but cool, still make the case. And there's other people that are saying, we're screwed. We need God. We need every single, higher power you can possibly ask for. This guy is going to wreck our season. We're out of the title race. God save the Queen, etc., etc. So, where do you stand, Miz? Are you just delicately poisoning yourself in the middle, or is life over?
First of all, the whole news of Ben Chilwell, gone for the rest of this year. We'll figure out whether it's rest of the season, early January. But there's some big games coming up from now till the end of December. It's action-packed. And we all hoped here that it was going to be Reece James and Ben Chilwell. They're balling out. They are the best, they're the biggest goal threats for us at the moment, the flanks. Do you know what I mean? And the madness, both of them are doing, their shooting technique is probably better than 90% of our attackers. Chilwell's shooting technique and Reece James' shooting technique is probably much better than a lot of ours. So the fact that Chilwell is not there, just on that firstly, it's a huge, huge loss. And I think Thomas Tuchel was saying that, right, boys, that we were in a bit of a rhythm. He was, he came back and he started, he was playing well after winning his place back. And we were looking good from both flanks. And they finally understood the wing-back play under Thomas Tuchel. This is what I need everyone to understand. You want to throw out Alonso. This is what Matisse is saying, right? The first option, Alonso. Under Thomas Tuchel's wing-back. Not Antonio Conte's.
Yeah.
Not anyone else's. Under Thomas Tuchel. So, Matisse, to go to your point now, Marcos Alonso. Literally, Thomas Tuchel said, a week ago, a couple of weeks ago, that the wing-backs under his style are midfielders. And when you deep it, and we've watched the matches, we've done watch-alongs, we check it out very, in a deep manner, we see what he means. They are actually midfielders. They're actually box-to-box. They go up and down.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And 90% of our games are against teams that generally will stay back. Do you know what I mean? We spend a lot of time in their half. Yeah. So literally they're midfielders. And they find themselves... Chilwell finds himself in a false 9 position. Reece James finds himself at the edge of the box, those volleys that he's doing. So ask yourself, in that scenario, is Marcos Alonso the best midfielder to have? Forget about the wing-back name. Forget about the name of the position. Is Marcos Alonso a very good box-to-box midfielder? That's the question. For me, I don't think he is. He can do a job. I'm not disrespecting Marcos Alonso. He's a goal threat, no doubt. But when the ball is stolen in the final third, can he recover quickly to support Rudiger? Can he cover for him when Rudiger bombs up and there's a hole behind? Is Marcos Alonso going to be able to recover quick the way Chilwell does? Is Marcos Alonso going to be able to counterpress the way Chilwell did in order to get his injury? Because that ball was literally a ball that could have been won. And Chilwell came flying in to win it.
Yeah.
That's how he got injured. That's called counter pressing. He could have held back.
Yeah.
He could have held back, but the mentality is to counter press. No, I'm going to win the ball back. Is Marcos Alonso going to do that? And if he does that, is he going to be clumsy? Is he going to get a yellow card? Is he going to get a red card? Because
He's going to make a foul. Yeah.
He's clumsy. Then comes, what's he going to do with the ball? Is he going to be good in building the play? Is he going to be quick? Is he going to be a quick thinker? One-touch passes, link-up play. I've got a lot of question marks, man, and our game is going to be compromised. It's going to be okay because he's going to take those long shots here and there inside the box. He'll score a goal, and Marcos Alonso, the greatest left wing back ever. Do you know what I mean? We'll get that, I know. But think about the overall game, man. I just don't think he fits that scenario.
I'm going to start calling them Flying Eights now. I think that's a good name. I had space created for Werner. Flying Eights. I think that's what I might start calling them. You're making some incredible points because you're spot on in terms of it's not the same as Conte. You know, we saw Chilwell against Leicester. He made a run that was so like inverted. It was almost like a Sadio Mane run. He ran, he literally made a striker's run like Werner.
That was the Jorginho ball, right?
And then Brighton was defending and had to cover at left side defense because Chilwell had picked up the ball and then obviously it was on his right side, so he couldn't really convert the way you'd want him to or make the play. But you know, he literally is making runs that are so direct and so aggressive. Alonso simply does not have the facilities for that, big man. He doesn't have the capacity. He doesn't have it. Like, I can't blame a man because he can't run fast enough. It's just he just doesn't have the facilities for this job in terms of intense running at speed and pressing, counter pressing, like you're saying, getting back, recovery, and you know. I want to bring some balance, of course, as well. You know, he did start the season very well. That's the thing. While Chilwell wasn't in the team, coming back late from the Euros, he started the season really well. Played big games against Arsenal, Tottenham, Liverpool, Villarreal. But slight differences, you know. But I'll get onto that in a minute. Younes, I want to get your take. Does that early start of the season Marcos form, does that give you confidence? Or do you feel like maybe that's on a timer where he might have a couple of good games, but can we rely upon him for a long distance of time as well?
Look, here's the thing. I'm not panicking. I'm not panicking because he had that start of the season, which was impressive, very impressive. And all of us were going, oh, wow. You remember that time where he was playing and all of us were like, look, we feel sorry for Chilwell, but he can't get in. I remember that all-you-can-eat Chelsea we had, and we were talking about this going, you can't drop Alonso right now. He's undroppable. Yeah. He had that, and that was great. If he brings that back, we've got nothing to worry about. When Chilwell came in, you remember a few games, he looked like he was struggling a little bit. Yeah. But then eventually, it clicked out of nowhere. Boom, Chilwell's putting in man-of-the-match performances and he's doing it consistently. And then we were going, okay, Alonso, we're sorry, we can't drop Chilwell right now. Okay, so I'm hoping that Alonso is going to come back in now because he's going to have to play for, I'm guessing, substantial amount of time. Yes, he might get rotated here and there. The only concern that we have is correctly his pace and whether there are things he just can't do as well as Chilwell. We know this. But I feel confident in a sense because Thomas Tuchel. And I just feel like this guy is a wizard now when it comes to getting players playing how they should. I mean, he's saved Loftus-Cheek, man. Look at Loftus-Cheek. He's playing balling right now. I mean, Thomas Tuchel is a genius as far as I'm concerned. So look, if he can do it with someone like that, he's doing it with other lads in the squad. I have no doubts that he'll get Marcos Alonso eventually to adapt properly, just like he got Chilwell to adapt properly. Now, the only thing is, hopefully, with Alonso, he can compensate in terms of his movement, not get too sucked in, because as we know, his pace isn't as good as Chilwell. So we've got to be cautious. But I trust Thomas Tuchel to come up with a plan, man. I really do. And on top of that, in terms of goals, we know we rely on our wing backs a lot. Alonso will bang in goals. We know this. I think he will score. So I'm confident.
See, that's the thing. The word that you just said, Thomas Tuchel will figure out a way to compensate for Alonso's deficiencies, let's say.
Yeah.
But that's where my issue is, Younes. Because
Well, you don't think he will?
No, the fact that he has to compensate.
Yeah, the fact that he has to compensate because our game gets compromised then. Do you know what I mean? Because right now we're playing such a high caliber style of football.
We're playing unbelievable football.
Unbelievable
Fluid.
football. We got our rivals thinking we're playing defensive football because they see in the score sheet Reece James and Chilwell. They're like, surely they're playing defensive football. No, you're not watching, man. You're not watching what we're doing.
If it wasn't defensive, counter-attack. You counter-attack. Counter-attacking goals. That's where it was.
Our football at the moment is so unbelievable.
Yeah.
And okay, I get it. Obviously, Chilwell is now injured. We've got to come up with a different plan. But the thing is, bringing in Alonso, I completely hear what you're saying, Younes, but it's that compromise that hurts me because that could mean against bigger teams, I'm talking about cities, when the crunch comes in, like big-time matches, whether it be in the league, whether it be in the FA Cup, whether it be in the Champions League. I'm very nervous to see Alonso there. Do you know what I mean? Because it's hard enough to beat City when you have Chilwell and Reece James.
I mean, we done it last season with Alonso in the squad, in the team, and that was at the Etihad. There are games under Thomas Tuchel where, as I've said, this is what fills me with a bit of confidence. Like we've seen it, whether it was the latter stage of last season or it was the early stage of this season. We saw Alonso play and he played well. Now, as I've said, I don't know, hopefully in terms of his training and what he's been doing, hopefully physically he's been up in it and he's been putting himself on a new level, hopefully. But that's just something we're going to have to see. As you said, we don't have a choice now. We're in this situation. So, yeah, when it comes to Alonso, I don't think he'll play every single game. Not much like Chilwell would be able to, I think. But he'll play the majority of games. And I just hope he puts in clinics like we know he can.
My biggest worry is the small details, the very small details that Chilwell gives us that Alonso cannot. And it's the counter press, like you said, Miz. So scenarios where Chilwell gets back, recovers the ball, and then we go again. And now it's potentially going to be Alonso, maybe recovers, maybe gets a foul, breaks up the play, but then now the other team have a free kick, and then we have to retreat, and then we have to start all over again off the ball. Link up with the forward. This is something that we haven't spoken about yet.
Yeah.
When Alonso was in the team, it was Kai Havertz on the left. Since Chilwell's come into the team, I've seen the best form for Hudson-Odoi I've ever seen at Chelsea, really, consistently. Started 7 games in a row. Now, if you remember the Malmo game, we couldn't break them down 0-0. Alonso was on the left. Hudson-Odoi was on the left. The chemistry absolutely stank.
Their chemistry's not good.
And he had to switch them, and he moved Hudson-Odoi to the right, and he put Ziyech on the left. And yes, it was to widen the pitch and get crosses in, etc., but also because the chemistry was toilet over there, so we couldn't create. And my biggest issue and we're going to rank every option, actually. I think it would be a great idea to rank them out of 10. Yeah. My biggest issue and worry about Alonso is not himself, because individually, he knows how to play the role. He's got experience, and he can turn it on if he has to. So he, as an individual, he can do the business. He can defend to a good level. He can get goals, and he can have a performance. But what is he going to take away from the combination with Hudson-Odoi or whoever's playing left forward? Because Alonso does take a lot longer to move the ball on. He is extremely one-footed. He can be a bit clunky on the ball, He's not the quickest as well, like we said. So those runs, which create space for others. Werner was doing it. Now we got Flying Eights doing it. I'm going to keep calling them that. Creates more space for whoever's on that left side. If Chilwell's making a mad run, that's a distraction. It's a decoy, whether he gets the ball or not. Jorginho found him in one of the passes, and then he found Kante. Again, great runs. Alonso can't give you that. So my main issue is the compromise with the combination play and the fluidity. The fluidity is going to be completely, it's dropping to a level. It's dropping by a lot of levels here from Chilwell. So that's my biggest worry. In terms of ranking it and rating it as an option, I think it's the most likely option. Tuchel's trusted him twice. He trusted him at the start of this season. He trusted him at the start of his reign as well. Wolves game started with him. Chilwell to break into the team as the season went on. So he knows how to use Alonso. He's used him a lot of times already. I expect him to use him. He's the most likely option. So I'd say it's a 7 out of 10 option for me. I'm not going to give it any more than that because there is a lot of sacrifices, but it's a solid option. We know what it is, and it's quite, it's we're used to him. And he can perform, of course. Miz, what would you rate the Alonso option as?
Look, with Alonso this season, as you boys have already said, we've won games, but after seeing what Chilwell's evolution has been in this season in that particular role, because from what Chilwell did last season, I think he's evolved even more, and I think Reece James has evolved even more in that role. They understood exactly what Thomas Tuchel needed that. After seeing that and what I saw earlier on in Alonso's, this season, I'd have to go a little less than you, Matisse. I'd have to say 6.5. Like, yeah, it's good, but it's a compromise. And I'm worried that left side will be very much a right-sided team now. We'll be looking at Reece James and that side a lot. We could possibly become predictable on that side. Left side, we'll see. I hope Alonso proves me wrong. And I still remember that last game, boys, against Juventus. There was a flick from Callum, how he flicked it through someone's defender's legs and Chilwell ran in behind him. Yeah, it's those things, like the flick passes, the 1-2s. We're going to be compromised big time. So for me, 6.5, man.
Younes, how are you rating this 1 out of 10?
As an individual, if it was just based on Alonso as an individual player slotting into that role, I wouldn't be worried. And I'd give that an 8 easy. But Hudson-Odoi right now on that left-hand side is looking undroppable. And we already know that chemistry between those two, unless if they've done something in training that we don't know and all of a sudden they're best of mates on and off the ball, then I don't know. But I'd give it a 7 as well, just for that. It knocks it down a peg.
And just before we move on, I think it's really unfortunate for Lukaku, who's coming back, who hasn't really had Chilwell and James in the team with him yet. Now, he was used to really Azpilicueta and Alonso at the start of the season. Now he's only going to get really half of what we've been cooking, If this was the kitchen, this brother's about to get the starter and no main and no dessert at this point.
No, but what I really want to say with Lukaku in the team, we know Lukaku relies and likes a nice ball crossed into the box.
Yeah.
And we know Reece James is minted when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Alonso on his day can provide some killer balls too. So I'm hoping that if that chemistry on that left-hand side isn't so great and we can't really rely on a Hudson-Odoi, for example, combining with Alonso, that Hudson-Odoi can do it individually. Marcos Alonso can do it individually, cross a ball into the box and start getting them into Lukaku. Fingers crossed anyway, I hope.
I'm going to go to what I think is the next most likely option, and I'll just keep going like that for the rest of the show. And if the ratings go against that, then cool. But Saul Niguez, I'm going to say next as the next option, because he has played 8 games last season at left wing back or left midfield for Atletico Madrid. He played 2 games this season just before the season started for us, before he came on loan. So he's got a bit of experience there. And, he's a player that is not in the team. And I know we probably had a phone call and a heart-to-heart, and we ran up our minutes internationally talking to this guy in Spain saying, "Hola, amigo, we're not going to play you at left midfield. We're going to look after you." That's a terrible accent. And I know you don't like playing left wing back under Simeone, insufferable. Don't worry, man. We're going to play you in your natural position. Bullshit, bro. Saddle up. Let's get it. Let's go. I'm going to be stalking you out there. You know what I'm saying? It's ironically, it's very, there's a lot of irony in it. It's funny, but it's unfortunate for him. But I think he could have a bit of fun because, like Miz has been saying, it is more central. You are a flying 8, is what I'm going to give you that name tag, Saul. You are comfortable in midfield areas in central zones. He has got a shot on him. We saw that in a few of his cameos. I think against Aston Villa, he's popping some shots. Tried one for the top corner. And
is he left-footed? Or is he
left-footed? Yeah.
He is left-footed.
And fluidity-wise, I expect him to combine and connect with players a lot easier just being a midfielder. Yeah. Now, defensively, I don't know what he's going to give us. You know, that's an unknown quantity. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't watch his left wing back games at Atletico Madrid.
Just be an extra body. That's all we need. Just be an extra body.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Just be an extra body. Don't need to do anything fancy. Just be an extra body.
So, I mean, he's the next option, and he's a guy that could become sneaky depth. Alex likes to say on the byline, sneaky depth, where we didn't have this in our head initially when we signed him. It was as the fourth midfielder, but now he's actually become maybe the second choice left wing back to rotate or keep Alonso on his heels. They're both Spanish. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm sure they can both motivate each other in Spanish, or he becomes the first choice. It's interesting. Is this graphic ready, Miz?
Yeah. Because I was waiting for the Saul.
Mizbo!
Talk to us, Miz.
I was waiting for the Saul situation to demonstrate why I think this is probably now my first preference. But before that, boys, something interesting. And this is how sometimes I feel there is a Lord above that controls everything, right? Saul left Atletico Madrid purely because, well, there were other factors as well, but one of the factors was I don't want to play left back. I don't want to play left wing back. I want to leave Atletico. I want to play in my rightful position, right? Chelsea calls him, hey, you're gonna play in the midfield, right? And then he comes in, Ruben Loftus-Cheek shatters his dreams, and all of a sudden that midfield option is now absolutely thin, and it's almost disintegrating in thin air, right?
Yeah.
Then comes the unfortunate news of Chilwell, and all of a sudden, what he left once upon a time for Atletico Madrid becomes the reason why he could possibly become a success at Chelsea. It's so weird. And then you flip that. Literally every Chelsea fan kind of thought, nah, this brother's going to leave, man. This loan is going to be pathetic. I mean, Ruben Loftus-Cheek's got down packed. Ross Barkley hell is in front of him. And now us Chelsea fans, hey, Saul, there's a job opening. Fancy taking this job.
We're sorry, it's left wing back, but did you want to play?
There's something open for you. You don't even have to interview. You could just get that. Do you know what I mean? So it's strange how we didn't want him. We're kind of thinking about him now. He left his previous club for the same situation, and now he finds himself in a situation where this could kickstart his Chelsea career. Now, going back into that screen now, just quickly, I would love to hear what you guys have to say as well, boys. This is the setup we had against Juventus, right?
Yeah.
And in general play, let's just say, this is how we sort of stack up at times. And this is just one phase of play. There could be other different phases as well. It's more sort of, I think Ziyech was more central that day. It was more like that.
Like the right side, whoever's in that pivot really does get forward. Like it's really just Jorginho who sits.
See, this is the thing. That's the other thing, Matisse, that you just see. People think it's a double pivot.
It's
really Jorginho the deepest, and the other guy's a flyer. The other guy's a flyer. Do you know what I mean?
So really, we are, and then, so if you push Kante even further forward, and then sometimes Trevor will step forward. Like sometimes we've got Rudiger, Trevor stepping forward alongside in the same line as Jorginho, and it's just Silva. Yeah, you know.
Hey, lads, what formation do you call that on the screen?
No formation. Make your own formation.
Attacking 10.
It looks like an arrow when you tilt your head.
All I can say, we are heavy at times right-sided. We're very heavy right-sided. When you have Kante, we've seen many a times Kante in the wings, Kante sometimes he, Kante sometimes he. Yeah. So we are very heavy on the right side. But moving back to this whole conversation about Saul, right? We see Chilwell operating in and around here, and sometimes he drifts around there. At times, he'll get into the byline, right?
Yeah.
But that's with the ball. Without the ball, it's the tracking back ability, the desire to come back and support, because at times we are left like this because Kante is bombed up. So people think we're three at the back, but we are so right heavy, we could be possibly left like that. Rudy, Silva, and Jorginho. Yeah. And it's his desire to come back and support is what attracts Thomas Tuchel a lot for his particular game. So that's one factor. In build-up as well, generally it's like this, right? So Jorginho's there, sort of close over here. Kante's more or less over here. RJ's hugging the touchline. and then Ziyech comes back here, and it's sort of like that. Chilwell in the build-up is very vital as well. He doesn't dwindle around. He doesn't think, like he doesn't hold the ball and just ponders, what do I do next? He knows exactly the pattern of play. It's either Jorginho, Rudy, Silva, Ziyech, Cho. Like he's got a plethora of passes that he can make, and he does it very quickly.
Yeah,
these are very important stuff.
He does it quickly. That's the key right there.
Yeah,
it keeps us flowing.
It's all about rhythm, right? You need to move the ball quick. As soon as you slow things down, the opposition's quickly. I'm talking about a second slower.
Everybody else slows down in the team as well.
Yeah, and the opposition's all organized. Going back into that situation where generally Chilwell starts from here. We've got Jorginho as the deepest midfielder. We've got Pulisic in and around there. Callum over here. Kante somewhere over here. Reece James attacking the wings. And then more or less something like this.
Yeah.
It's this ability to be inverted, to go outside, to track back. And generally, Chilwell hangs around in here. You don't see Chilwell predominantly there. You don't see that. Rudy is covering those areas. Chilwell tracks back, helps him out. But people think, oh no, but Chilwell is a wing back. He's generally here. No,
we want the ball back by the time.
He's not there. That's not where he hangs around. Back. So when you think about Saul, don't think Saul's going to play here. Saul's going to be playing here. And Rudy's going to be covering him. Do you know what I mean? It'll be like that. And Saul's ball-playing ability, along with Jorginho, is going to be that compromise that Younes talked about. If we had Alonso, I don't think we'll have that compromise.
Yeah.
Because he's good with his left. He'll be a natural left footer there. And he'll be able to pass it to Jorginho. He'll be able to do his link up with Callum. I think Callum's game doesn't get compromised. And Chilwell finds himself in these areas. Now, imagine if that was Saul.
So my thing is as well is that Saul can also shoot. Like Saul does have good shooting technique. Yes. So I don't think you're compromising on the attack in terms of, I think Saul could probably drum up some assists and some cutbacks and some crosses and some shooting. And Alonso, I think, has 1 goal this season and 1 assist, I believe. So it's not like as if at the start of the season he was absolutely cakewalking the statistics side of things. Chilwell has definitely outperformed him in that regard as well. So I think there's definitely room for Saul to make an imprint on the team with the goals and the assists. He's probably not going to bring as many as Chilwell, but I think he can definitely contribute with the shooting because he did show some really good signs against Aston Villa in the cup, I think.
100%, man, 100%. It's the fact that Saul's quickness. Let's be honest. Can we all agree that Saul's quicker than Alonso? Can we agree on that? I think
a lot of people are quicker than Alonso. I'm quicker.
Yeah. There you go. So on that basis, Jorginho is going to like the fact that he's quicker. He can still keep finding the same balls that Chilwell's trying to do invertedly. Chilwell sometimes ends up being the false 9 in and around there. He can shoot from these areas. He'll find himself in these areas at times, and he can whip in the crosses with his left foot. So, and Saul's not short. Saul's actually quite tall. So when it comes to set pieces, he can throw himself in there as well as another body to provide. Now, defensively, I think about moves. What about defense, But what's going to happen when he's over here? As I said, we don't need him to do anything fancy. Be another extra body. Just help out when Rudy needs help. You're tall, so clear it out with your head. Just do the basics. And I don't think Saul is erratic like Alonso. He won't rush into a tackle like a madman at times. So
he played this position, not obviously in the same way, but he played at left midfield for Simeone. So I'm expecting some sort of competence defensively. I'm not expecting you to be ripping up trees, but I'm expecting you to be able to defend to an okay standard where we're not getting cut apart and we're not getting exposed.
And the other thing is, lately we've seen the development of Rudy driving from here and into these areas. That's a different facet of the 3 at the back. That's the RCB and the LCB. We've seen Chalobah now bombing up as well, making those same runs that Rudy's doing. This is the other evolution when you have overlapping full, the CBs. This will probably not happen that often if we start seeing Alonso, because this guy now will start thinking, if I bomb up, who's covering here?
Yeah. Do you remember the meme where the recovery meme? Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's so funny. I wish I had it here to hand just to play for you. It's like some guy just eating his food and he's like, "How are you doing?" And he's just there munching. He's like, "Recovery."
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah,
I think I've seen
you've
that.
definitely seen it.
So
that's going to be Rudiger.
Many people will say, "Oh, but Silva will move in." Okay, so if you start shifting everyone, you can already see you're compromising again.
Yeah,
you're compromising. So that's where I'll leave it at. Let me see what you guys have to say about that.
I mean, just quickly, I'll remove that for Younes. Younes, what's your thoughts on all of that, man? There's a lot to take in there from Mizball. I love it.
Gotta love Mizball. You gotta love Mizball. You gotta love it. Hey, if it gets to it and we have to vote manager of the season, yeah, I'm giving it to Mizball.
Should apply for assistant role for Thomas Tuchel, man.
To be fair, Thomas Tuchel's assistant is really good.
I have a message for you.
Thomas Tuchel's assistant made that change against Malmo, so it's going to be a difficult fight as well.
Yeah,
Man United job's easier to get, I'm telling you. Way easier to get.
But I might have to start off from Norwich, bro. How about this?
Just make sure you play Gilmore. That's all I'm going to ask. That's all I'm going to ask. I mean, let's go around rating them. I mean, I'll start with you, Younes. I'll let you with the first rating and speak on Saul. I mean, what's your confidence levels going into his potential left wing back?
This one's difficult because obviously we're not too familiar and we don't really know. Our only basis is what he done at Atletico and what he left for. He left because he was in that role. So look, hopefully he takes it well and hopefully, Thomas Tuchel, I'm sure will manage him correctly. But in terms of Saul in the role, just in terms of his ability, physically, his speed, his pace, what he's like on and off the ball, that's as far as we know so far. The potential's there, absolutely. It's just whether he adheres to exactly what Thomas Tuchel wants of him in that role. And what you've said in that little presentation, Miz, was spot on. But he has to do that correctly. Just like we brought him in to do it in centre mid, and he's definitely lacked. I hope he doesn't lack if he's been given that left wing back role. Hopefully not. But it's good. It's a good option to have because, as I've said, we all know Alonso will be the guy that Thomas is going to go to. But I don't think he's going to play every single game. It's a heavy schedule. So we're going to need to compensate with somebody. Saul could be an option. If he's given that opportunity, he could fill in. So, yeah. In terms of a rating, it's hard to go for or against him. So I'm just going to have to give him an average and just give him a 5 or a 6 out of 10 because I just don't know. It's just bang on in the middle. It could go anyway.
Will we put you as a 5.5?
Yeah, that's fair.
Decent. Miz, I know this is your favourite option, so I'll let you go next. How are you rating Saul?
For me, theoretically, and looking at Saul's characteristics from the games that we've seen so far, I have to say that's my best option and being a left-sided player. So for me, that's 8. For me, that's 8. So.
Yeah. Strong rating. I probably fall somewhere in between because again, like Younes said, that's all the theory and that's all the written work. And to use your fantastic analogy a few weeks ago, now it's time for the practical.
The exams.
Now it's time for the practical exam. You've done your theory. You've done your theory exam. You passed. I think Mizball has definitely passed. It's passed with flying colours. I'd give it a strong B+ as an option, or even an A-. It's a really good option. Probably stronger than Alonso.
It's got the pro license. It's got the pro license.
But now you've got to do the practical exam, and now you've got to go out there and you've got to run and you've got to make those runs. You've got to make those passes, and unfortunately, he hasn't even completed the practical for central midfield. Otherwise, he'd be playing a lot more. True. So,
yeah.
You failed 2 practicals and you failed a year, Mr. Saul Niguez. People have been saying, well, maybe we'll send his ass home in January. Well, we're going to hold off on that talk. But if you failed the second practical, my guy, I'm not going to lie, we might have a special little flight for you on an easy jet straight back to Spain. Right? No, it's fancy shit.
Not even back to Madrid. It'll take him to some next place that EasyJet fly to. I don't know, Ruiz or somewhere. I don't know. He's gonna have to cab it back to Madrid.
This is economy class. Do you understand? It's economy class because my next options, maybe we have to recall them. You can only have so many loanees coming in and out. Well, it's not making some room, so someone's gonna have to leave. But for me, I'll probably rate this option as another strong 7. I think for all of the lack of practical work that's been done for Saul in that role for us, the theory is incredible. Honestly, I think the theory really does level it out. And with all of the little compromises that I'm making for Alonso, I'm not having to make all those compromises, especially combination-wise for Callum. I just think if you continue to keep Callum playing at the way he's playing, that's also a plus. And if his game drops off, that's a massive negative for me, especially getting the best out of Lukaku. So I just want someone who's fluid, who can connect and play combinations with Callum and take some of the heat off of him and let him continue playing the same style. And I think Saul is probably way more likely to do that as a midfielder than Alonso, who kind of twists like this, moves his left foot around like this and just doesn't use his right at all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Don Robbie when they sign Party. Do you know what I'm saying? Party hard. Do you know what I'm saying? I told him this is the way that he moves. This is the way that he dances. And the guys viewing know I've got a dance for this. I haven't had to use it for a while. So for that reason, I'm going to give him the same mark because I'm just as confident in his ability to do the role. It's just that we haven't seen it yet. And I know there's certain things that Alonso cannot do. So he can only get a 7, but Saul could potentially be that guy who can do some of those things. So I'm going to give him a similar mark. And I said it in my video yesterday, I'm undecided. So that's basically why I'm undecided. Those two rank basically at the same level for me. Everybody else, surprise, surprise, I'll be ranking a bit lower. The next option, and the only other option, well, not the only other option, but the next option that's, again, maybe most likely in my head and is available in the squad before we get to guys that are maybe January options to recall, is Azpilicueta. And I'll start with this one because I'm strongly against it. Against it.
Really?
I really don't want a right footer out there. I just think it will compromise so many things in terms of the balance.
It'll be inverted all the time, huh?
We're gonna be so inverted. We may as well just be playing in one on the right half. You know, Aspi and Hudson-Odoi, everybody just come over. It's gonna be like one big party on this side. Like I do want a left footer at left wing back. I just think the angles that it creates when you're opening up the pitch. Now, when you receive the ball, Aspi's going to receive it, turn to his right. Immediately, that's a different angle that we're playing at. Whereas when you have a left footer, you can open up the pitch, you can scan around you, and you can really make that pass, you know, whether it's a pass down the line, you know, for Callum, whether it's a pass inside. I just think it's a lot smoother and the play will just move a lot better. And for me, Aspi at wing back, I've never really always been gung-ho for it because he has his limitations as a wing back. He's not an attacking, you know, he's a fullback. He's a very defensive minded guy. Yeah, he does get forward, he does contribute, he does get assists, he does get involved, but that's from the right side. To now do that on your weaker side as well, and you're higher up the pitch, I just think I think the other two options I would much prefer. Which is why I rank Aspi so low, because I definitely know the other two options, I definitely rank them above. Aspi played left back in Mourinho's season, but that was really reserved, really defensive, and he didn't have to really get forward. And Hazard did all the business. Now, when you're asking him to play left wing back, he's got to really get up there. And it's fine doing it on the right at right wing back. You're on your right side. You can cross from the inside positions. We've seen it. Set up Lukaku for the Zenit goal. So it's probably not too bad. But to play on the left side, and especially now in the midfield roles that you're asking him to play in as well, on the left, I just think it's just all too much. I know the guy's versatile, but we're taking the piss here, in my opinion. So, I mean, Miz, what do you think of Aspi playing at that role?
mean, we saw 5-10 minutes of Aspi in that left wing back against Juventus. And I don't know.
Where's the ball?
I'm not doing a demonstration on this one. I think it's quite straightforward with Aspi. Do you want me to do a demonstration? I think this one is quite straightforward. We saw in the 10 minutes or so when he played against Juventus, every time he got the ball on that right side or when he bombed up to support, his body position was already open to the fact that I'm not going to be using my left because I don't have a left. I'm going to be making you think I could whip it in with a left, but let's be honest, I don't have a left footer. So his body position always looked open from the images that I can remember from what he played against Juventus, and he was always looking for the pass in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or when he was inside, he was looking for the pass towards the winger. So as Matisse, you said, it will once again heavily. He's not going to be able to hit the byline and whip it first touch with his left. He won't be able to do that. He's not a left footer. And that compromises, because the ability to cross it first time with your first touch, that catches out so many defenders. That's where Lukaku can sneak in between defenders and tap it in. But as soon as you take your first touch and you bring it in to whip it out, everyone's like having the popcorn. Yeah, whip that cross. We're ready for this. Do you know what I mean? So I think the only way this becomes an option for me in my mind is he's not going to be a flying 8, as Matisse has been saying. I think he's actually going to be more reserved, like the Mourinho days. And we may then perhaps have more Ruben Loftus-Cheek on the left side in the pivot. So it could be probably Jorginho and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And the responsibility of Ruben is make sure you connect the defense to offense. You're the guy there, and you connect it with Azpi. Azpi's not really going to push up. You're going to be more further up.
Yeah.
And you're generally going to have the 3 defenders and Jorginho. So you're still going to have 4. So if they're counter-attack, it'll be still 4v4, right? Yeah. So you would have to shift personnel elsewhere. That's how I'm thinking. It could be a possibility, but it will be a different way of attacking our opposition, not the way we're seeing now.
And I think just before Younes comes in as well, I think it would probably change potentially who the attacker is ahead of him. Because I'm thinking now, if you're going to have Azpi as a right footer to counterbalance that, you're going to maybe go with Kai again at the left forward position, like how he started this season, with Ziyech on the right, Havertz on the left, and Lukaku up top. If you're going to have a right footer who's always going to be checking in, then to have someone that checks out and is fluid to go down that left and go down, because otherwise we're not going to utilize that space on the byline at all. It's basically, you may as well just cut that bit of grass out on the pitch and just sell it. You don't need that. Do you know what I'm saying? But if we have Kai is left-footed, maybe Kai will go around the outside and he will hold the width. And whether this is his strong point, in my opinion, no. But it's the only guy I can think of to go out there and do it. Even Ziyech maybe will have to go out there and play that role. He plays on the left, right? On the left side. Yeah. Ziyech has got good delivery. So I can see a world where Azpi is tucked in, like you said. He's not as advanced. He might make those runs that Chilwell made, because he does like to make those runs. They're a bit weird to watch, but he did try it against Real Madrid as well. I think out in Spain, he was trying to make those inverted, runs where he comes back on himself to stay on side and then he goes out like an arc. He could do that from this position, but also, I'd probably say, sit a little bit, let Ruben, go forward as well. But then Ziyech maybe holding on the left and whipping in crosses from the left-hand side just to get some sort of width out there that you lose with Chilwell or any left footer. Because any left footer is just going to give you some width just naturally because they're on their right side. But Younes, what do you make of Azpi in that position?
I mean, Azpi's a legend and all that. We know what he can offer. On the right-hand side, you know exactly what you're getting. It does exactly what he says on the tin. And, it's not someone that you rely on that heavy duty, because you just know his legs will not have the facilities for that like it used to. He's already, we're already seeing the transition where he's no longer one of the main men in the team and he comes on as a sub here and there. And for him to play regularly on the left-hand side, I mean, if you thought like Alonso would be limited in tracking back and, doing all of that, yes, Azpi has the effort and the desire to. Does he have it week in, week out? Not even week in, week out. Game in, game out, twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week? No. So on top of that, as you've already mentioned, him being a right footer, being able to come inverted rather than look outwards on that left-hand side, whilst we look to provide balance on the left and the right simultaneously by going outwards and inwards when we want to. We're just causing more limitation for ourselves. So it's a nice option to have temporarily. If you're talking filling in 1-2 games, he can do a job, but not consistently, no. So like, if we're even going to use Azpilicueta, he should just always be on that right-hand side where he's comfortable and he knows exactly what he's doing. Yes, he has experience under Mourinho as a left back, as you've already said, but left back is a different role, and we've already established that. Ms. Ball's already clarified that these are not defenders; these are midfielders. So,
Yeah.
you know, can you imagine Azpi as a left mid? That would be stretching it. Look, we love him and all that, but I would only use him on the right hand side. So for me, I would rather Saul big time.
So what would your?
If I'm going to score, I would give Azpi, just because of his ability, and I know he would put in a shift, I'd give him a 5. I'd give him a 5.
Yeah, because he is dependable and just intangibles. Like, you know what you're getting from Azpi in terms of
exactly.
And defensively, he's going to give you, he's going to give you a performance. Miz, what would you rate Azpi as an option?
So I gave Alonso 6.5. I would have to give Azpi, because he's more sound than Alonso in defense, but he's probably not going to give me that same goal scoring threat. Although Azpi, I think, has scored this season as well, or last season. He's scored a few.
I think he must have
last
scored.
season, and I think this season as well he might have scored. I don't know, maybe.
Last season, I think. But on the right-hand side.
Scored Tuchel's first goal, against at home at Stamford Bridge.
Yes.
I think it was Burnley.
Yeah, and so, but as Younes said, it's on the right side. But for me, Alonso obviously poses more of a goal-scoring threat on that left side. So it'll have to be a less than Alonso. So I'd give it a 6, man. Defensively more sound. He's not going to be able to bomb up and down on a regular basis, as Younes said. Maybe he'll be able to do it for one match up until the 60th minute, and then he'll huff and puff and he'll run out of steam. And that could become an issue defensively, concentration-wise. He naturally plays as an RCB, like where you don't need to go up and down. And even then, Azpi, you'll notice 70th, 80th minute, breathing heavy. Like, because he's 32 now, man. Like, those engines are going to get slower and slower. Now you want him to play as a flying 8. Ooh.
Yeah, but we have enough problem him playing as a right wing back now, consistently. Now playing as a left wing back where he's already out of position. Yeah, it's just you're feeding him to the wolves.
Yeah, it's a 6 for me because of that defensive. It'll still have to be a compromise, but a bit less than Alonso. Yeah,
I'm probably going to give it a 5.5, just in the middle of what you guys gave. His commitment to the cause and his commitment to learning a new role has always been commendable at this club. So I'm sure he'll try and make the best out of a weird situation. But there's certain things that he's just not going to be able to offer us. And like you said, that compromise, Miz. So I think a 5.5 is kind of where I'm going to rank that for Azpi.
On the fence, yeah?
Yeah. Really much on the fence. Just how I like it. I'm a very on the fence kind of person when it comes to it. I don't ever tend to get crucified for my opinions at all.
You should run. If you're on the fence, you should run for the Labour Party then.
Oh god, there was a quote I can't remember. They got splinters up their ass. Someone would say, sitting on the fence so much. Oh man. Okay, so we've all rated Azpilicueta at left wing back. I'm looking forward to seeing what the chat are saying about this show when I watch this.
I'm sure the chat's crucifying me.
They're going to destroy us.
Big up to everybody in the chat. Big up your damn selves.
With Alonso, real quick, you're going to get comments that are going to be like, what? No, Alonso, amazing. What are you on about? And then you're going to get...
I know, I said it at the start though.
He's rubbish. He can't do a thing. Like, you're going to get the two...
You're going to say your favorite word. Pants. He's pants. He's pants.
He's pants.
Literally. I've already called it. He splits this fan base like no other. And the next option is the final option that I feel is... Possible. And also the final option that I'm going to tolerate in this team that is currently here. The other two options that are currently in this team that are being put to my attention, I hate. Harvey Vale,
like Callum.
Yes, like Callum, yes.
But boys, he's already done it in the right wing. How do you think he'll do it?
I legit thought you were going to say Hudson-Odoi.
No.
Bring him back a little bit, it'll fill in. But yeah.
The next option that I could handle would be Harvey Vale. And that's on the basis that I'm not really sure about it because, again, people are... And listen, we just bigged up La Cobham last week or the week before. So we are...
Big up La Cobham.
We are massive, academy pushers, in terms of, confidence and belief and giving people a chance and whatnot if they deserve it. But I think there's a big difference.
La Masia who?
Hail end who? You know what I'm saying? But there's a time and a place for me. And I think, in my opinion, I've said it on Twitter a few times to people that have been going for it. And even someone in my comments on YouTube yesterday was really pro Harvey Vale. I think there's a massive difference between phasing in Harvey Vale and phasing in Hudson-Odoi or phasing in Trevor or phasing in Ruben. All those names that I've just mentioned that are the latter have had experience in the first team before. They have gone out on loan, whether it be in France or be at Fulham, or they have been at part of the first team set up for a 2 years minimum, which is Callum Hudson-Odoi under Lampard, Sarri. 3 seasons for him, really, or two and a half before this one. So they have experience. So you're not chucking in kids. I know they're academy graduates, but they've got first team experience. They've played different formations. They understand, the level that's required as well. So that's a different situation. Harvey Vale has never played senior football. Never. Like, this would be his first glimpse of senior football, and you're throwing him in at Chelsea, at left wing back. And some people are saying as a starter, like that. Now, for me personally, at most he can be is an option. At most, right now. Now, again, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I've said it many times. You don't have to go out on loan. Tino Livramento, I knew he was going to be a great player before he took that move to Southampton. Tariq Lamptey didn't have his loan before he burst onto the scene and did a great job, and then he goes to Brighton. So I'm not saying Harvey Vale can't come into this team and just blitz it, and everybody's like, oh my God, another one, like DJ Khaled. Do you know what I'm saying? And then suddenly, like,
it's another one.
And suddenly Harvey Vale's just doing the business, because technically he's fantastic. He's one of the best young players in the academy right now, him, Webster, and maybe one other. I'm not going to, pretend like I watch him religiously, but from the clips that I have been looking at and from the reports from people that I really do rate when they talk about the academy and they watch, every single game, everybody speaks about him in a glowing way. He's played attacking midfield. He can play a little bit of maybe on the left side. He can play a little bit of central midfield. He's very versatile in that way. He's just a good footballer. But I think I would be surprised if Thomas Tuchel went with an 18-year-old who has no first-team experience over the other options we've just been discussing. Especially when we're in a title race, it's the Christmas period. Like, it's going to be hell. I've been talking about this Christmas period for, months. And it's not because I'm excited to see Santa. It's because I'm shitting it. I'm very worried about seeing Santa this Christmas for Chelsea, because I've got PTSD from last year. And I know last year's a different season and we're nothing like that. But even still, we all have our nightmares at night. Do you know what I'm saying? That's mine. So for me personally, I'm going to just rate him now, and everybody just, speak on him and rate him immediately. So we go to the next one. We'll go through these a bit quicker, but I'm going to rate this one as a 4. And that's because I just don't know what he's going to do. I just don't know. I have no idea how he's going to be in the first team. He's got to make that jump. He hasn't even made that jump yet. But I'm not giving it any lower because I want people to know that I do rate the kid. I do think he's talented. And we've seen academy players come up before and just blitz it without even, they just start doing the business. But I really don't think we're going to see him week in, week out. At best, I think he might be a secondary option if one of the others that we mentioned are not going to do the business for Tuchel. And maybe if he plays in a cup game, he could really start to make his case, and suddenly he really starts to get involved in the coming months. But I don't think it's just going to happen immediately at all. I'll go to you, Younes, first on this one. How are you rating Harvey Vale on this one here?
With Harvey Vale, the encouraging thing with him is that he's been training with the first team. He's been part of that squad. he's been exposed to the level, at least in training, right? In terms of the highest level under Thomas Tuchel and training to what Thomas Tuchel wants rather than training with the reserves or the under 23s or the whoever. So that's the one encouraging thing. He's definitely got talent. If you've paid attention to him in the academy and what he's been doing, he's definitely got talent. He's 18. He's quick. He's technical, and it's nice. He's played on the left wing. He's played as a left back briefly, attacking mid more, but he can do a job. So fair enough. I'm against throwing someone so young just into the depths of hell, though, and just we're in the
title. You wouldn't start him against Manchester United?
No, this is the thing. Yeah, if there's any game that he'll play when we're like 4-0 up against a mid-table team. So yeah, he might come on against United.
Just to say that before the game as well, I have to respect it. I really do have to respect the shit out of you. You're a brave man. You're a brave man.
please, Chelsea, don't bottle this.
Oh my God.
But look, honestly, a cup game, even though now cup games, we don't have any easy cup games now anymore. That's gone. We had those, maybe the FA Cup if we get lucky going forward, but the League Cup, that's not easy anymore. We're playing Premier League teams now. They're all there. The league title we're trying to go for. The Champions League we're trying to retain. So just throwing in an innocent 18-year-old with no experience in such an important role is borderline suicide. Unless if he's a miraculous player where he just turns into the best thing since sliced bread, which is too much of a risk to take. So an easy cup game, you give him the experience call. If you're comfortably winning in a league game, bring him on. Just like we saw Klopp bring on Morton.
Yeah.
That's the sort of role where I want to see a Harvey Vale be introduced. Perfect. 15, 20 minutes. Let him have that little bit of experience and we move. But he won't be used for this. So I would say I'd agree with a 4. The potential is definitely there as a young lad, but I don't see him being used.
I think, before I pan it to Miz just quickly, I think maybe the Champions League last group game, because Zenit are very negative from what I saw in the game.
We got to win, though.
We got to win that, though, innit? We want to finish top. We want to finish top.
We definitely do have to win. I think we've
if
won.
Not, we're playing Bayern Munich.
We've definitely won.
And then Vale can start.
We've definitely won the head-to-head with Juventus now, so we just need to win. We don't need to. I don't think we need to score a certain amount of goals. We've won the head-to-head with Juventus, but I would feel okay with him playing a game like that. I would trust us to dominate so much against a team like Zenit that he wouldn't be exposed. And if he was, then maybe with the 5 subs, again, that's an extra thing. You can make the early change, maybe at halftime if it's not going too well. I don't think he would cost us the game. I'm just hoping I'm correct in saying that. Maybe the cup game in the Carabao Cup, because maybe people won't value that as highly as other competitions. I personally want to win everything. But if there is a game, the Carabao Cup is a potential one where you could. I know we're playing a Premier League team, but that's the only one where I can say you could again maybe hand out the start. And I don't know. For me, Club World Cup, I'm not even.
Oh yeah, the Club World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, like I've got too many scars. I need experience in that one just because we have to win.
We need to win that.
I'm going to throw the biggest tantrum like a child. Miz, Younes gave his rating. So Miz, finally for you, bro, how are you summing this one up in your rating as well on Harvey Vale?
I didn't know much about Tino Livramento, and look how he turned out to be. And this season, as I said to you guys, I've had epiphany about our academy players. They're damn good. I'm not going to disrespect any one of them ever. I even said spoon, knife, and fork. I'm ready to buy your jersey whenever. I'm ready. I know you're going to make it, so I'm ready for that. So Harvey Vale, look, he probably is talented. And so the other spectrum is, do you guys remember Gareth Bale when he first came out for Tottenham, like as a left back, like the young Gareth Bale? Yeah. No one knew much about him, and he was electric on that left side, ripped it apart, and then his development just went tenfold. Do you know what I mean? I just remember that game against Maicon, how he just drove Maicon in the
He went off the pitch and came back on.
Yeah, that was in Real Madrid. I think the Maicon.
Oh yeah. Maicon was a great run.
Yeah,
and he did it twice.
He did it with Maicon. I think he was still in the pitch, but he still kicked it and went around Maicon and got it. But that was for Tottenham. But I don't know. Is Harvey Vell sort of like a young Gareth Bale-esque type of a player? Like, I don't know. He possibly could be. So it's unknown. As Younes sort of had that unknown for Saul to a degree. This is an unknown for me. Like, I've not seen. I've got to be honest. I don't get to watch academy football. I don't have that much time to watch. I barely get time for Chelsea football, let alone academy football. But I see tweets and all of these and little clips and bits and pieces here and there. But that's not enough for me to say, can he play top flight left wing back the way Thomas Tuchel wants? Like, to score goals, to defend, be the box-to-box sort of player? I don't know, man. That's just a bit too much to ask, man. For me, it's I'll give it a little bit more than you guys, because I honestly believe in academy a lot more. I'll give it a 4.5. I'll be nice. I'll give it an extra half.
That's strong.
Yeah, that's
and it's difficult because even when you're watching the clips, it's like he's quick, he's really fluid, he connects really well. Technically, he's really sound. But again, it's all got to translate to the next level, which is quicker tempo against stronger guys. Can you still get around them? Can you still weave past players? Can you still, make decisions under pressure? And again, the academy players have been equipped and built to do that, but you still got to do it. And again, this is theory, but we need to do the practical. And what's even worse with this one, with the practical, is we have no practical. Like, you've done no practical. Like,
it's the first exam.
At least Saul did some practical at Atletico Madrid, so he's got like 20, maybe 10% of the exam done already. So he's done the multiple choice. He's
done the multiple choice.
Yeah, he's done the multiple choice. But Harvey Bale has not even done the multiple choice. He hasn't even written his name on the exam.
He's looking at the exam paper for the first time. What is this?
Wow! You know that meme? Wow!
He hasn't even had a mock exam. You get to do a mock exam like as preparation. He's just been thrown in.
He's a child.
Here's your exam, buddy.
Oh my goodness, it's mad. So yeah, Harvey Bale. That's our ratings on him. And if it does happen, I will be extremely excited. That's the first thing I'll say. If he does get an appearance somewhere, I can't wait to see it. I'm very, very, very keen to see it. But also, I would, again, look after him and not just throw him in against Manchester United and Jadon Sancho. Maybe, one of those other games that I mentioned. So
I do want to add one thing before, if we are looking to wrap things up soon. Was it a bit surprising for both of you guys to see Azpi coming on against Juventus? Because Alonso got up and he was about to take his jacket, and I think Tuchel said, "Who sanctioned this substitution?" Do you not see Azpi coming on?
Tuchel did explain it after the game, innit? He was asked about that. And he said, I hope Marcos doesn't take that personally, and I hope he's okay with me at the moment because I didn't mean to do that. Like, he initially wanted to bring on Azpi for the right-hand side. And when that injury occurred and whatnot, he'd already had Azpi in mind. And I think Alonso subconsciously thought, okay, Chilwell's off, so I'm on then, surely. And he threw Azpi on just because he wanted Azpi on. Yeah. Not necessarily just because he thought Chilwell's off, I'm going to put Azpi there. Like, it was just a case of Azpi. He wanted to give minutes to Azpi, basically. But he didn't project it for him to play on the left. He thought he was going to end up taking Azpi onto the right. So it was just a little misunderstanding on Alonso's part, really.
See, that in itself makes.
And he did apologize. He did apologize to it.
Yeah, and that in itself lets me think that it's going to be Alonso. Like, that's the most 100%, probable. 100%. That's the most probable. We can sit here, debate what's the best, what's not. I think Thomas Tuchel is going to go with what's natural, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know what is a wild card? if we're playing, Chilwell, Reece James, if they can play as strikers, stick Lukaku at left wing back. Maybe he'll do the job.
I thought you were going to say Malang Sarr. That was one of the ones I just remembered in my comments.
Malang Sarr. I don't even have Malang Sarr on this list. I wouldn't even bother. I'm not. First of all, I'm not triggering everyone again with that. And second of all, he's a centre back. I know he played left back at times, but he is probably the most defensive left back you're going to ever see in terms of just build. On the ball, like everything, every single possible profile and trait and characteristic, this brother is a centre back.
Watch you get the hate in the comments, Matisse. You're putting down Malang Sarr again. You should have known. You don't learn your lesson.
I would not dare want this brother in flying eights, in our box trying to shoot, in midfield trying to link up. Don't make me sick, please. Now, we're going to fly through the next 4 options and literally we're just going to give a little spiel on them each and rate them.
There's more? Oh, bloody hell, okay.
Yeah, because people think Callum Hudson-Odoi is an option. For me personally,
they actually do.
I'm respectfully going to have to disagree. I just want to leave him where he is. He's doing great. He's doing just fine. He's creating chances. He's enjoying himself. He's already sacrificed himself enough. The poor kid has already sacrificed himself. Don't make him do it again. Don't kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Klopp did this last year. He had injuries at centre-back and he took central midfielders out and he put them as centre-back and they were shit. And then the central midfield was also shit. So he had 2 issues now. If left wing-back is an issue, just leave it as the only issue. Don't make everybody else now
suffer.
A domino effect.
Yeah,
we don't have Conte. No suffer ball here.
And especially when Lukaku's coming back, I keep saying it. I think Hudson-Odoi's passing range and creativity and chance creation is huge for getting the best out of Lukaku. So I want Lukaku to be able to play with Hudson-Odoi next to him and Reece James on the other side and then one other guy as well in the front 3. I don't want everybody to just get moved around. And I know he's going to get to go forward and I know he's playing as a flying 8, but just leave him alone, please. He's already taken in enough tactical knowledge for his age. He's played enough positions. He's done the sacrifice. Just leave him. Let him live. Let him live his life. He's a good kid. He didn't do nothing wrong. So I'm ranking that as a straight fucking 0. Okay? All right. Just never make that damn well clear. I mean, Younes, you're Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, I don't want to move him, man. He's on form now. He's on form. Shout out Toby as well for that. Have to throw that in, but Hudson-Odoi right now is playing unbelievable. So I don't want to disturb the peace. We leave Hudson-Odoi where he is. Can he do a job there? Yes. Let's have it right. Like if he were to be brought back like he was for right wing back, I feel like he done well in that position majority of the time. Because he listens well, he tracks back, he gets stuck in, he defends, he likes to bomb forward, he has the speed, he has the energy. So can he attack and defend? Yeah, but that's not what he's born to do, if you know what I mean. Like that's just not him, right? So can he fill in? Yeah. Should he play there consistently? Hell no. So on ability itself, I would score it 5 or 6, easy. But again, I'd want to put him as a 0 just because I don't want to see him there.
And what about you, Miz, as well for this one?
I'm surprised, Matisse, you didn't go for negative score. 0 is still a positive in some sense. Yeah, man, no, it's as what Younes said. Can he do a job? He probably could, but why compromise his game? That whole domino effect, why do that? Now, all of a sudden, not only you've taken out your most creative attacker, and let's be honest, he's been the most creative attacker for Chelsea this season. The stats are saying that as well. And against Juventus, he was quite electrifying as well. Now you're taking him away from his role. So now you've got an issue in left wing and you've put him in left wing back and you still haven't really rectified left wing back. So now you got 2 issues. Yeah. So that I think this is what Matisse was trying to say, that compounding issue. Don't do that. Leave him where he is. That's not an issue anymore.
Yeah.
Figure out something that's more suitable. So for me, it'd have to be a 0 as well. So
and another winger is Pulisic. And again, for me personally, I just can't
rely. Is this
rely.
An option?
This is what I'm seeing. This is what This is what the people damn well done told me. And I just said, damn straight, that's just damn right disgusting. I just don't like that. I just don't
Captain America in left wing back.
For
That's
me
a
personally,
disgrace to Marvel.
yeah, listen, I think it's because maybe Tuchel played him at right midfield for Dortmund, and obviously people have,
I was just gonna say,
yeah. But for me personally, I don't want to see Pulisic in any sort of defensive position. I didn't like it on the right. I sure as damn hell ain't gonna like it on the left. I'm not confident at him defending 1v1 or in any scenario at all in that part of the pitch as a wide player. He's a forward player. He gets goals. He's been playing striker for God's sake. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just for me, he's just not an option. I'm giving him a 0 as well. It's just another player that under no circumstance do I want to see him. I would rather Azpi, Alonso, Saul, and Harvey Vale before these two. Like, they're just non-starters.
Easy.
Like, literally no chance. I just don't want to see it. Like, they're forwards. Leave them as forwards. There is still defending to be done at wing-back. I think people forget that. I know we're playing flying in, and we're very attacking. But in some games, we are going to have to defend. We've had a nice fixture list recently. We're going to have to defend against Man United. We're going to have to defend against West Ham. We're going to have to defend over Christmas because a cluster of games. We do need someone who knows how to defend competently. And I don't even want to give Pulisic that tag of defending competently as a wing back. I just don't even think that's even a thing. So, yeah, I mean, what were you guys scoring at, Younes?
I don't even want to jinx the brother, but if he were to play in that position, chances are he's getting injured.
Yeah,
like I would not want to risk that at all.
We're asking so much physically.
You're asking way too much. Yeah, too much, man.
Do you know what? If he's smart, he would injure himself in the warm-up as he did last season.
Go up the steps. My leg.
Sorry, Tuchel, I'm not going to be able to do that role today. Sorry, man. I really wanted to play left wing back, but I'm afraid.
The second step got me again. Thomas. I can't.
That would be such a chess move from Pulisic. He's just whispering to Callum, like, how the fuck did you plot with this shit? I'm not play over here. I'm going to injure myself. Screw this, man. I'm not doing this.
It's funny, man.
Let's fucking go.
So yeah, in terms of a score, I'm gonna go negative on this one, man, because it's not only is he just not fit for purpose, but he would probably get injured, and I don't want that. So yeah, I'm going -10.
-10.
Miz, what about you?
To all the people that even thought this was an option, you got a -10, a slap. You got a slap from Younes. Do you understand? -10.
You got the Ric Flair.
You got a -10. So for you to even come back into some conversation, you need to gather 10 points to be on 0. You're on -10 now. Don't ever bring these sort of suggestions in the table ever again. I have to stick with a -10 as well, man. That's
You got a -20 now, technically.
I'd have Thomas Tuchel there before him. Thomas Tuchel can play left wing back. Put him there. Do you know what I mean?
Take Ashley Cole out of coaching, man.
Out of retirement, man. Yeah, absolutely.
And the other two guys are loanies, Ian Maatsen and Emerson. And that's January, so it's not even an immediate even thought. But Ian Maatsen, I just don't see him coming back from Coventry midway through the season. I think he's shown with Gallagher he wants to keep these guys out on loan if they're playing constantly for the full season. Ian Maatsen's not coming back to be a starter after playing half a season, in my opinion, in the Championship and being good. I don't think he's then going to start at Chelsea ahead of Alonso and all these guys we've mentioned. So you're theoretically then bringing in someone to bench them, and then they don't get any more minutes really for the rest of the season, when he could have been developing at Coventry. So I just don't think Tuchel's going to do that. It's kind of selfish on our part as Chelsea, in my opinion. So I just
what if we trigger the buyback for Livramento?
Apparently we can't for
I don't think we could do that. That's why he was an option. We can't do that until the summer, I think. You need to be
No, 2 seasons.
Apparently. 2 seasons.
Is it 2?
Yeah.
Imagine something like that. 2 seasons. Yeah.
Imagine getting on the phone to Southampton. Yeah, we want to trigger that buyback. That's like we triggered, like we put in place like 2 months ago. Can we do that? We'll pay you extra.
And the other option was Emerson at Lyon. An option to buy.
He's on loan.
15 million. So if you bring him back, you're sacrificing the potential of selling him. which is, for me, I do kind of want him sold. But he is experienced. He is smooth.
He would do a job.
Yeah, he's kind of in between Alonso and Saul. So
he'd hate his life if he comes back and he's backing up Alonso again. Like, he'd hate his life.
And also on top of that, he what was I going to say? On top of that as well is you bring him back, then you've got 3 left backs on your books again, which is what we tried to avoid. And it's mayhem from that point onwards. But he is a good player, so he probably would get a higher score than some of the other ones. If he was actually here. But.
Just on Ian Martin though, as one player we've seen under Frank Lampard, and I was very impressed from that little bit of time that he played against Grimsby, I believe. I know it's not a huge team out there, Grimsby, not going to rattle any of the European boys out there. I get that. But the intensity that I saw in that young lad, that was enough for me to realize, keep developing him, because he could be a solid fallback option for Chilwell down the track. And I'm hearing he's having a really good development season at Coventry as well. He's doing really well there. So continue on, because you do need to develop, get that whole season under your belt, and then do a Chalobah next season. Come to the preseason, impress the living daylights out of Thomas Tuchel, and Thomas Tuchel, he'll give you chances. So it's it's really up to you how you exert yourself in the team. So I wouldn't forget Ian Martin. I think this guy could make it into the team. Not now, but maybe next season or the season after. Yeah.
We're not going to rate these ones because they're not actually at the club, but Younes as well, what's your thoughts on those 2 guys? I mean, Emerson he's a smooth guy, he's a smooth operator. I mean, would you even think about potentially bringing him back? Is that even an option in your head? Is that even realistic? Would you think Lyon are just going to be like, no?
I feel like we'll need a crisis for that to happen. Like we'd need like Alonso injured for like Chelsea to go, okay, we need to take action. Like Lyon, can we terminate this now, please? Send him back now. That's the only way I see it happening. But I reckon Emerson would be a good stopgap, because we know what he's like, and we know what he's capable of. Now, he didn't have the consistency because he was always playing second fiddle. But if he was given that run of the run of games, I reckon he would actually fit in quite well. So it's unrealistic. It won't happen. In Maatsen, as we've already said, at Coventry, he's smashing it at the moment. He's definitely on the same trajectory as we saw from the other lads that have broken into the Chelsea team when they were out on loan developing. It seems like he's on the same train. So just keep it up. And I agree, going into next season, pre-season, maybe he gets given a little shout. If not the season after, if he gets another loan move, which he most likely will, the season after, he'll probably be in for the run-in. So definitely an eye to keep on him, for sure.
Yeah, I think for me personally, it's just about not ruining his season for our own needs. And again, I feel like these guys are it's an emergency. Like, if you're going to take people back from loans, and Lyon are not doing great this year. They're like 10th. They've only kept like 2 clean sheets in the league. So probably maybe Lyon won't even end up spending the money on Emerson to bring him. So like 15 million, that's probably quite a lot in French football in this current climate as well. So not even saying that we're going to miss out on money, but I think, like you said, an emergency. Like, if Alonso goes down, then we got no actual left wing back, like traditional one. And then you have to start maybe pulling the trigger. But yeah, people, that's it. Listen, it's been a long one. We've gone through everything. We've rated all the ones that are currently at the club. Those 2, there's no point. They're not here. We'll see how the Christmas period fares with these options, and then we'll rediscuss it and rehash it in January. I know you guys was hoping that we talk about new signings and splashing on 50 million for a new left wing back. No, no, that's not going to happen.
It's not FIFA.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. So, Miz, let them know where to find you, bro. Brilliant show as always.
Yeah, man, it's been another fantastic show here. Love the weekly Thursdays. Man. It's just fantastic. It's a, what do you call it? A think tank. This is a Chelsea think tank. Seriously, it really is. It just allows you to brainstorm, and hope each and every one of you guys. One thing that I want to say: don't fight in the comments. This is just alternatives, different ideas. It's not something that we are saying, if Thomas Tuchel doesn't do this, then Thomas Tuchel out. No, I'm happy with whatever Tuchel does. If he wants to play Harvey Bell,
Bro,
I'll have the Harvey Bell flag out. Do you know what I mean? Like,
if I see anyone say Tuchel out, oh my god, it's
do you know what I mean? Like, I see, people take these sort of things so personally. It's just football. Calm down. There's no personal issues here. Find me at the other side of the coin, and Man United's coming up. I've got a Man United fan lined up where I want to talk a little bit about Man United's story, and then obviously do the preview, and then just before our game, I'm actually going to be doing the Arsenal watch along. I'm very keen to do that, so that's going to be quite interesting. Hopefully Newcastle get their first victory. I'm actually thinking Newcastle are going to get their first victory, so it'll be good fun. Hopefully all Chelsea fans can come in and we can laugh at Arsenal, really looking forward to all of that, and obviously the weekend game against Man United.
And Younes, bro, let them know where to find you. Any content coming out? Big game this weekend, Man United, as Miz said.
Yeah. So it's just the normal content for now in terms of the latest and what's been popping, and in the football world in general. Any big topics I'll raise, but up until Saturday will be the preview for Chelsea Man United. Bring it on. Looking forward to breaking Carrick at the wheel, if that's even a thing. But yeah, Man United is going to be a big game. So Sunday, watch along as normal, and then the match review after that. But up until then, we'll just see what the latest is and what's popping. So yeah, and then Monday, Reddit video that will cover the last 2 weeks because I didn't get it done this week. So
there you go, people.
Yeah.
So that's all the content from those guys. Obviously, the links are in the descriptions. Make sure you go and subscribe as always. Milestones to hit for everybody here. Miz is chasing the 10K. Younes is chasing the 100K. I'm chasing the 20 as we continue to just slowly guys, make it happen. I want to drink apple juice with you guys. I want to do a 20K celebration live stream. I want to get like shit faced with you guys here. So let's do this. Come on. I'm ready to party. So yeah,
do you know what? We should do the 20K. I think that should be alive.
100%. I'm down.
That would be fun. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
That'll be alive for All You Can Eat Chelsea. There you go. There's your motivation. Get it to 20K, and you've got your live for All You Can Eat Chelsea on this channel. Get Miz to 10K. We'll put the All You Can Eat Chelsea live on his channel. Get Younes to 100K, and we'll do it again for his channel. I know we just done it. So
get Younes to 100K. We'll do it in Amsterdam. Do you know what I mean?
Straight up.
Get the word out there. Get to work. And let's get this done. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I do miss the live chat. It's only gonna happen when we get the milestones. So there you go. That's the goal. That's the task for you guys. Big up to your down souls for watching. It's been a great show. And in a bit, people. Peace. That's all I've got to say on that one. Really good show. Really good stuff today.